Aloha world. Look at this beautiful morning here. Amazing. Sun is about to come out. Super low tide. I love those early summer mornings like that. It's very mellow. Around 70 Fahrenheit outside already. So very nice. Nice start for the day. So I hope you guys had fun with the last inputs and impulses and figured out what's the communication channel for your inner woman, and whether it's writing, baking, painting, whatever that is, and figured out the commitment you can do, and once you do, it will definitely make a difference. So very good. So today, as we already started a little bit yesterday, I wanted to talk a little bit about receiving, which is one of the main core key elements for the divine feminine. And many people oversee this. They think it's not important, or don't pay any attention to it actually. So but in my experience this has been very, very important. So I come from a background where receiving wasn't seen as something good, and especially if you had to ask for it. So it's so much to do with our cultural background as well, like where we come from, how we kind of are raised, and all of that. And I came from a family where my grandmother was just sharing what she had learned, worked for her over, the time period. And I'm very, very grateful that she did what she did. But many of these things at the time also didn't actually work anymore. But she was just doing what, she knew and what was told. And that's many times the conflict between generations, that especially if they're not listening and going deeper into what those elements are, and how can we also now adjust and adapt, and how can we deliver our wisdom to this next generation the most appropriate way, but also the way so that it is updated and upgraded. So that's a interesting element to it. And just a side note, so is let's see, so this is the local, and it's as you see 6:40 here. So people are asking, Crystal, Donna is ghetto, there are shootings every day, it's such a criminal place, what are you talking about? So I've been living now here almost 2 years. Of course, there are always problematic people and problematic places and so on. I've had no issues so far, and decide this to continue. And even coming to this beach so early, there is always Baywatch, there is always people walking. I've never felt unsafe here. So why I talk about also safety, it's kind of interesting how I'm straight kind of downloading from my inner woman here, is that safety and receiving are in connection. So when you don't feel safe, you can't receive fully, and that's very, very important connection also many people don't get. So one of the ways also to figure out how your situation with receiving is look at the left side of your body. If you have any issues or have had many issues in your life on the left side of your body, this is all connected to your divine feminine, and it's giving you messages through that, like, hey, for example, something happens with your leg and you can't really, walk or even work. So this is your inner woman saying, hey, you need to receive more, you need to sit down, you need to receive help, you need to ask for help. And many times when we go overboard and the inner divine feminine sees that and needs to balance that, the only way to do it is to create some kind of accident or trouble or problem with the body, so that the person would in a way wake up. So yeah, think about it like that as well. So receiving means also, now it can happen in so many ways. It can be like a natural receiving, but it can also be like magical receiving. Magical receiving is like, you have asked for something and then it appears, but it appears in ways or forms you didn't actually expect or ask for. And that's the full divine feminine in the works. It's just so beautiful when that happens, and in my life it has happened so many times. So just as an example, so when I was in Hawaii, the first time I got the guidance from my divine feminine saying, hey, you need to go for 3 months, I was like, are you kidding me? That's a little over the board. But I trusted, so I jumped in, and I think I was in a cheap hotel for the first 2 weeks, and I was like, I need something different. So it's like, okay, I need a little more better accommodation, like what are the possibilities. And I go to swim, and that's also now the example I share is a very typical one for projectors from human design. We need to have fun, and as we have fun, then these things what we need will come to us almost by themselves. So I go to swim, do my morning swim on the beach, and then someone in the group there is saying, hey, I need a house sitter for 2 weeks, would you help me? And by that time these people already knew me a little bit, so they knew that they can trust me. It's like, wow. So if you don't know much about Hawaii, back then, like, a cheap hotel was like, $70-80 per night, and usually these were the places where you for sure had cockroaches and stuff like that. This kind of came with the price, right? So over, if you wanted like more decent and no bucks, so around 100 and above. Nowadays I think it's like around 200 is like the cheap hotel. So if you estimate that, so 100, let's say like 100 per night, so 7 days, $1,400 of receiving that money through, helping a friend, and at the same time living in a beautiful place in Hawaii. So a really beautiful example how you can receive. And before you can receive, there is another element. We can maybe go even deeper tomorrow. It's like asking. So you have to ask, what is it exactly you are needing? And sometimes also people say, Crystal, I've been asking so much and so long, nothing is manifesting. So there can be many reasons for that. One of them is that you're not supposed to get it now, or the divine timing is not right now, or you're just kind of out of alignment in connection to what you have asked. So, but yeah, asking and receiving goes hand in hand. Once you do that, usually more aligned you are, faster the receiving will happen. So now we have a problem because many people, they have asked, they maybe have not even done it consciously, and it will be delivered many times behind their door. But because now the whole process is very unconscious, they may totally miss it that it was delivered. So, like when I was sharing that story, when I was back in Estonia looking for my next apartment, and I went to see one which was, felt so good, but the price was like a little kind of higher than I was planning. But I was ready to take that leap, but I needed assurance. So I was asking, okay, universe, give me a sign that this is the way to go. And as I did that, I sat into a car with my friend, and we go to that next place to check out. And in front of me at the traffic light, a car stops which has like a big circled advertisement on the back door. And the back door message says, "Don't worry, test us." So, don't worry, test us. Like, wow, that's pretty amazing. Yeah. So I didn't worry. I tested them. I took the apartment, had a blast for almost 2 years. So it was really cool. And yeah, the process of receiving is amazing. So let's enjoy this beautiful receiving of this beautiful sunrise. We have all the elements coming together, and we have so much feminine flow here, water, air, and balance it out, the sun. So ask and receive, and be home when the package is delivered. And share with me what's your experience with receiving, and how do you connect that with your inner divine feminine. Have you seen the connection so far? And the moment you start to acknowledge that this is her realm, it will amplify your ability to receive. So and sometimes it's all about conditions and timing. Like today, I woke up by myself earlier, couldn't sleep anymore, decided to come and walk earlier. And because of that, I can receive this beautiful sunrise together with all of you. And it's amazing. Happens like clockwork every day. That also brings us to an element of faith, which also is very connected to ask, receive, and faith. They kind of all go together. Aloha. Enjoy, ask, and receive.